Hello, welcome. So this week, I just realized that I have owned the Veloster now for over 3 months. So I figure it's time to talk about a little longer term. So I'm going to do the ubiquitous 5 things I love about my Veloster. Now, the number one reason is the easiest one because, well, actually it's a tie. Okay, I'll go with mileage, fuel mileage, because as you well know, my other car has horrific fuel mileage, like I get like less than 20 miles to the gallon, whereas this one I get more like 30 to 34, so I like the mileage on this one much better. Now the reason I said it's kind of a tie is because what makes this car lovable is the price. It's a sub $20,000 car. Well, base. This trim is like $22,000, $23,000. So it's a very low price car, and then it has all these other things that I'm going to talk about. The next thing is the handling. Now, Stormtrooper does not handle that well. He goes really fast in a straight line, but curves not as much. I do have the wider tires, which helps some. I do not have the really wide tires that you can get with the wide body, which if I had those, the handling on Stormtrooper would be better. Yes, and it's my biggest regret that I didn't get the wide body, but we're not talking about that car today. We're talking about this car. And this car handles like a dream. Well, it's front wheel drive, so it's a little weird when you're used to rear wheel drive like in Stormtrooper. By the way, I keep pointing over there because I'm looking at Stormtrooper right behind the cameras. Anyway, so the handling is really great. It handles very well. It's very, especially in sport mode. Although, again, I usually run it in smart mode, which is eco most of the time, but switches to sport mode when you're really lobbing it about, and as the Brits say. The fourth thing that I really love about this car is the styling. Now, I know it's a toy car, so there's not a lot going on here, but all things considered, I think it looks pretty good. I mean, it's got a nice line. I love this little line here that hooks back in. I love the little tail, the Veloster in the tail lights. I like that. I mean, I think it's a good-looking car, and I'm very, very pleased with it. I mean, especially again, back to reason number 2, which is the price. I love it for how much it costs, and yet still looks pretty nice. The last thing I love about this car are the electronics. Now, yes, they're kind of chintzy. I mean, well, I'll show you. I'll run a little B-roll here in a minute, or while I'm talking here. It's got a cheap plastic thing around the screen, and it's not the great. But the electronics themselves, and by the way, they're not that pretty, but they're very functional. And the thing I love the most, which I mentioned in my original review, is that when you have Sirius radio, satellite radio, and you have presets programmed, when you start the car, it starts recording all of your presets, SiriusXM presets, so that as you're driving, after you've been driving, you don't like what's on the Sirius station, you flip to another Sirius station, and it's the song you like, but it's like towards the end, well, you just hit go back. And so you can skip backwards and forwards on every preset because it records them all the time while you're driving. I think that's amazing. And it has Apple CarPlay, and the electronics are just great. So that's 5. Now, a bonus thing I love, which I also mentioned in the review, and this is a kind of a dig at Stormtrooper, who does not have a locking fuel cap. This does have a locking fuel cap, and the thing I love about it is that the thing that unlocks it is completely mechanical, and it's down here on the floor. I'll get a shot from overhead so you can see it. But it's down here on the floor, and it's just a little thing you flip up, and it's like got a wire running back there, and it's mechanical, and it just unlocks. Anyway, so that's my bonus 6 thing. So, a little short and sweet this week. I'm sure some of you will appreciate that. These are the 5 things I love about the Veloster after 3 months of driving it. Coming up in sometime in the future, I'll do the 5 things I hate, although I can't do it yet because there aren't really 5 things I hate yet. I'm sure they'll turn up if I drive it far enough, but not yet. And I'm going to put a blend mount, radar detector mount here in the Veloster, and we'll do that. And I may put in the camera, the dash cam system that I have, the A139 that's in Stormtrooper. I may also put that over here. So, and I also have some stuff coming up for Stormtrooper. So stay tuned. I'll see you next time. Have a great week. Enjoy the heat.